Way up on the snow-dusted peaks of southern Germany lies one of the most picturesque and frequently visited castles in the world. Neuschwanstein Castle, which roughly translates to New Swan Stone Castle in English, is a 19th century Romanesque revival palace that was built for King Ludwig II of Bavaria, who himself was also known as the Fairy Tale King. It is believed that the palace was originally built to allow the Fairy Tale King to withdraw from public life in the aftermath of the Austro-Prussian War, having lost his power. But behind the beautiful castle, there is an amazing and tragic story. Now, construction of Neuschwanstein Castle began in 1869 upon a foundation of castle ruins atop a hill, offering up a stunning view of the surrounding Bavarian landscape, including Hohenschwangau Valley, Alpsee Lake, and the Tyrol Mountains. Inside, the castle became known for its emotive depictions of repentance and salvation in the form of decorations showing knights and kings adorning several of their interior walls. It would also take more than a decade before workers had completed enough of the castle for King Ludwig II to move in. The design of the castle was a collaboration between architects and theatrical designers and artisans, with the Fairy Tale King being known to take inspiration from King Louis XIV of France and the Palace of Versailles. However, despite being such a large and lavish construction and originally having plans for 200 rooms, the castle was only ever home to King Ludwig II, and not for particularly long either. In 1886, King Ludwig II was dethroned after being declared insane by a team of experts led by psychiatrist Bernhard von Guden. The reasoning was largely based upon the king's eccentricities and erratic behavior, such as building lavish castles that would often leave him significantly in debt and choosing to eat outside regardless of the weather. This was enough for von Guden's team to decree that the king was no longer capable of ruling, and 2 days after this, on the 12th of June 1886, he was seized and brought to Castle Berg, located in the eastern shore of Lake Starnberg. It was here that the Fairy Tale King would spend his final hours. At 6 p.m. on the 13th of June, King Ludwig II requested permission to go off for a walk around the lake, and it was decided that Bernhard von Guden would be the one to accompany him. This was the last time that either of the two men would be seen alive. Several hours later, the two men's bodies were retrieved from the lake. Von Guden's body showed signs of being attacked, while there was also reported evidence to suggest he had been both hit on the head with something and then eventually strangled. Officially, King Ludwig II's death was recorded as drowning. However, it has since been discovered that no water was found in the king's lungs, and it was also known that he was a strong swimmer. The mystery of King Ludwig II's death has since sparked wild debate, and various conspiracies have emerged regarding it. In more recent years, investigations into the death of the Fairy King have indeed added weight to the theory that there was a more insidious motive behind his death. Evidence unearthed by investigatory teams has shown that diagnosis of von Guden's team of experts was incorrect in both form and substance. From the start, von Guden never met the king during his assessment. They had only previously met 12 years before. Objective evidence was also not sought, and only biased opinions of the king were admitted as evidence. In fact, it has also been claimed that evidence written by the secretary that could have shown that the king was actually capable of ruling was ignored. This does suggest that von Guden could very well have been biased against the king, and there are even theories that propose he was recruited by embarrassed family members looking to gain power in order to discredit and remove the king. Neuschwanstein Castle remains one of the most enchanting and magical landscapes that exist. It is also but one example of the Fairy King's extensive and impressive collection of castles he himself personally financed. But the real question is, would you even want to live in a castle by yourself? I mean, castles, as beautiful as they are, all look pretty haunted. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned next time for another amazing story.